call to order the Greenwood Redevelopment Commission on the 14th day of January 2025. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Campbell.
Here.
Mr. Harris.
Present.
Mr. Hopper.
Present.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
And let the record show our non-voting.
Advisory.
Something like that.
Is vacant at the moment. Thank you.
All right, we have a quorum and we're all present. Got it for. And just died on me. I fixed it. Sorry.
Mine just died on me.
Thought I was once again going to have to call on the Van Baylor law firm to supply me with a pen.
We can do that again if you
The
want.
Watson book on
Yeah.
it as well.
All right, organizational items, annual organization matters, the swearing in of each commissioner. I believe we've already accomplished that before the meeting, correct? Or
Yes.
Yes, we did. All right, thank you. You have everything you need?
Yes.
Documents wise, okay. Fiduciary bonds are in place.
Yes.
Okay. Annual conflicts of interest. Mr. Hoover.
And for the record, I'll read the substantive portions of those. Brian Harris is submitting his statement because of his position on the Redevelopment Commission. It's an annual statement or disclosure, and the contractor or vendor is Fifth Third Bank. And the description of the contractor purchases is that Brian Harris is employed by Fifth Third Bank, which may conduct banking or financial services for the city of Greenwood. The second page.
No, I only printed the first one. What's second page?
Is it online?
It is.
Because there's one other provision I think that's substantive. His financial interest is that Brian Harris is employed by Fifth Third Bank. And it's the rest of that.
I think that was it. You already said that. Yeah, we got that part.
All right. Thank you.
As far as I know,
Brian, are you
still-
employed by
still
Fifth Third
employed.
Bank?
All right. Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Mr. Cooper, is there a second? Second. Second by Mr. Miller. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay.
I'm gonna abstain.
4-0, 1 abstention. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, and now for Mr. Hoover.
Hoover is submitting his disclosure statement, and an annual disclosure. So, contractor or vendor, Greenwood Library Board. The description of the contractor purchases is that Kevin Hoover represents the Greenwood Library Board, which may request project funding from the Redevelopment Commission TIP funds. And the description of his financial interest is Kevin Hoover is the attorney for the Greenwood Library Board.
Well, is there a motion to accept?
A motion.
The second. Motion by Mr. Harris, second by Mr. Campbell. All those in favor, aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion is approved, 4-0 with 1 abstention. Election of officers. This little caveat on the side was new. I don't know if I recall seeing that before. Probably always in there.
Well, no, it actually
for this
took effect last
Okay.
year. Yeah, so we just have to keep in mind.
All right, so Mr. Campbell and I may not be president, vice president, and apparently through you guys, the rest could not be president, vice president. So I'm happy to stay on as president. Keep it the same. Everybody else is willing to serve.
Yeah, I motion we keep the officers in place.
Motion by Mr. Harris, second by Mr. Campbell. Any other discussion, other ideas? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion is approved 5-0. Thank you, everyone. That would be me as president, Mr. Hoover, vice president, Mr. Harris as secretary.
Okay, next up is PCA 2024.
All right, moving on. Is there a motion to approve our minutes from our December meeting?
I'll motion that.
Motion by Mr. Harris, second by Mr. Miller. Is that what I heard? Yeah. Sir. Any corrections, additions, deletions? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion approved 5-0. No new business, no old business. Now we come to the Kevin Steinmetz show, capital project
Short
support.
show today.
Greenwood Sports Park,
What kind of
first
show?
up.
Very short.
Yeah, first up, change order number 7.
Yeah, we got this some point during the holiday season and got through it and made it kind of your final cleanup on that net amount is $98,964.63. Working on closing that project out. A lot of different vendors and subs. So as you can see, we stayed pretty close to a percentage standpoint to where we started. So it's always good.
Any questions for Kevin?
I move we approve change order number 7.
Second.
We ratify.
All right, motion by Mr. Hoover, second by Mr. Kimball, I think I heard.
Yes.
All those in favor, aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion is approved 5-0. Next up, certificate of substantial completion.
As part of getting, and Amanda's worked with me on this too, getting that all kind of wrapped up and that obviously opened and Kitty got some days to play the splash pad. Did a little bit of baseball before it got too cold, hard to think about now as it's frozen moon out there right now. But yeah, so another good project done, another really good amenity for citizens and visitors at the RDC hopefully.
All right, what do we do here?
Ratify.
Approve,
Yeah, approve,
ratify, accept.
Knowledge.
Okay. All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Hoover, is there a second? I'll second. Mr. Miller first, sorry, I got in there. All right, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. We'll say I've been out there a couple times, and it's lovely. Hopefully, we'll play a lot of baseball and softball out there.
I just wanted to welcome all back for another year. Congratulate Mr. Hoover. I hear they have a new dentist in town. So it's pretty cool when you can, in all seriousness, when young people go away to school, get professional degrees and come back to Greenwood. That's what I think part of the RDC is all about. So
That's what parents usually.
That's right.
still in it.
Started school in Chicago, but I got it back here.
Yes, it's good that we have a place good enough to do that. So
Doing our part to make Greenwood a great place to live, work, and play.
exactly.
Raise a family. Financial reports. Adam, I see you up there.
Yep, I'm virtual today. Can everyone hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, hey, nice to see everybody. As far as the monthly, nothing new to report there unless there are any questions. We do have a few other updates for the commission, though, today.
Go ahead.
Great. So going to item B, 2024 tax increment financial revenue summary. These are initial results. These have not been fully reconciled and audited at this point, but to provide a timely update to the commission and the public, in 2024, across all the different allocation areas, the Redevelopment Commission received $16,985,763. That is an increase of the prior year of 9%. It's the largest year on record, and is up approximately 70% since 2019. Most of that growth has occurred really on or after 2021. So I sent out, and I believe it's in your packets, the distribution of that actual results by allocation area, as well as a comparison to the 2025 estimates for each of those areas as well. What would be of note there is we continue to have a reshuffling at the top end of the allocation areas. So while there are, when we look at East Side and Fry Road, those are really no longer the top two. Now you're looking at East Side, Worstville Road, Central, Southwest, and then Fry as really the significant allocation areas from at least as measured by total tax increment finance revenue collected in a given year. We are seeing some positive growth occurring in some of the newer allocation areas, namely the Emerson Point TIF, the Indris and Hauser and the Arlington Farms area are all starting to see improvements there as well. So I'm happy to take any questions. Otherwise, I'll continue on to item C.
The only question I had, Adam, was on the Arlington Farms on why we wouldn't expect that one to go up, 2025 estimate.
Let me look back through that. There was, I'll look at that. I think there was one aspect where the assessment, while the construction is there, the assessment lags it, but we'll double check that and make sure that's not needs to be updated.
Sure.
Any other questions on item B?
Not seeing any.
Okay, great. So moving on to C and then to, D as well, the TIF management report. This is the April 15th Gateway report. We are in the very early stages of putting that data together. We're likely a handful of weeks or so away from having a first draft, but just to be proactive and ahead of the curve here a little bit, I wanted to go ahead and see if there was a commission member that we could utilize for just speeding up the kind of commission's review and those types of things as those drafts and questions come available. In the past few years, Commissioner Harris has provided that service. I don't know if he or others would like to be a part of that, but we would ask for one commission member to be able to work with just to make sure we can meet those timelines.
Mr. Harris is willing, and I'm happy to have him do it.
Great.
Anybody
I-
else?
So moved.
Yeah.
So you desire to delegate that authority to the president and the secretary, finalize that along with you, Adam?
Yes, please.
So moved.
All right, is there a second? Second question, all those in favor, aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Okay. Motion,
One abstention.
one abstention, sorry, 4-0. One abstention.
Thank you, and I appreciate that, Mr. Harris, very much. And then the last item I have, this is a potential future agenda item, so just wanted to put it on here for visibility. We've been in talks with a couple different individuals with the city, looking at either changes to existing boundaries and or potential net new area as well. What definitely seems to be the outcome of that is there are at least a handful of existing allocation area boundaries that will likely need to be amended due to the initial boundaries that were drawn, contemplated commercial type uses in those undeveloped parcels. Now, with the benefit of additional planning and development taking place there, in cases where there's, either maybe a church or a nonprofit or tax exempt type user that we know is going into that parcel and or residential for sale uncaptured. Those are areas we will likely try to administer and remove those parcels from the TIF allocation area just for better housekeeping. There's also a few instances where the parcel lines have changed, so we need to kind of clean those up as well. So again, we're working through the specifics, and we'll work with Mr. Watson on those documents. But just wanted to give you a courtesy heads up that we will likely be putting through and drafting some changes there just as an annual housekeeping relative to either boundary changes as it relates to change in use that would not be capturable, or just general housekeeping as parcels expand and shrink just through the normal county process. So that's all I have there, but I'm happy to answer any questions if helpful.
So,
Cool.
I guess my only question might be, how many parcels do you think that is? Do you have a ballpark?
Yeah, I do. So as far as the housekeeping items, I would put it at 10 to 20. And as far as the net new allocation area, that is still much conversations need to happen there. But as far as the just pure housekeeping removal type items, it's in the neighborhood of 10 to 20 discrete parcels.
So, any other questions? All right.
Awesome. Thank you all. Have a nice night.
Thanks, you too.
Okay.
Thanks, Adam.
We'll move on to department reports. Anything from Corporation Council?
No,
All right. Mr. Watson.
I do have one item, our annual update of our engagement agreement with the RDC. My firm, and you've been provided an updated engagement letter. Any questions? So I'll try to answer them.
I talked with Mr. Hodson. He's okay with it. I need to check with you, Greg, to make sure we actually have money to pay, but all right, I see the thumbs up. That's good.
We approve the updated engagement letter.
All right, motion by Mr. Rivers, or second.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Harris. Any comments, questions? Hearing none, roll call. Or all those in favor, aye, sorry. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion is approved by zero.
Thank you.
Yep. Anything for you, Mr. Wright?
Nothing for me.
All right, thanks, sir. Anything from the city engineer this evening? Doesn't look like it. Any from the mayor's office? Anybody want to speak for him? No? Okay, we'll move on then. All right, is there a motion to approve our claims docket in the amount of $1,103,197.18? Motion by Mr. Campbell, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Harris. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion is approved 5-0. Anybody else have anything for us, either on the interwebs or here in person? See our friends from the parks are here again. Are we always going to be at the same time now? Is everything all
3 months.
3 months?
3 months. of
It
this
seems
year.
like it's happened like 6 times in the past 5 months.
You're all very
Especially-
Which doesn't
intimidating.
seem possible, yeah. All right. Hearing nothing else, we will stand adjourned.